This little black cat named Snowy originally had a happy home, where his young owner doted on him endlessly. However, his life took an unexpected turn one day. That morning, the young owner was heading to his grandmother's house, and Snowy desperately wanted to tag along. But in the end, the boy left without him. Snowy watched helplessly as his owner once again shut him inside the house alone. Feeling dejected, he climbed up onto the roof. Just then, a large, portly cat from the neighboring house saw Snowy looking lonely and taunted him, mocking his limited worldview and saying he didn't even know what the outside world looked like. Provoked by the challenge, Snowy, in a fit of anger, dashed down from the roof. Coincidentally, the main gate was left open, and just like that, Snowy found himself in the outside world. He recklessly darted across the road, then snatched a fish from a vendor's basket. He was overjoyed. To avoid being caught by the vendor, Snowy bolted and, in his panic, accidentally leaped onto a passing large truck. To his astonishment, the truck drove on for an entire night, carrying him far away from home to a completely unfamiliar place. After getting off the truck, Snowy still held the fish in his mouth, but he began to feel despair, realizing his young owner was nowhere to be seen here. Heartbroken, he wandered slowly through the strange alleyways. Suddenly, a massive orange cat charged over, glaring menacingly and demanding he hand over the fish. Snowy could see this cat was far more robust than himself, so he immediately backed down and obediently surrendered the fish. Unexpectedly, the big orange cat lay on the ground laughing heartily, mocking Snowy for his timidity. He then offered to return the fish. But Snowy had his pride too. He turned to run away. Right then, a car came speeding towards him. Just as it was about to hit him, thankfully, the big orange cat rushed over and saved him. Snowy hadn't expected the big orange cat to be so kind-hearted, so he decided to befriend him. Snowy shared his story with the big orange cat, insisting that no matter what, he had to find his way back home. The big orange cat, however, felt this wouldn't be an easy task. From then on, Snowy regarded the big orange cat as his big brother. He slept in his territory at night, and during the day, whenever they encountered fierce stray cats, simply following closely behind the big orange cat was enough to send the others scrambling away in fear. The big orange cat also took him along the streets to find food. It must be said, the big orange cat was quite well established in this town, a truly respected feline. Wherever he went, if he meowed at someone's doorstep, the owner would come out and give him food. When people saw he had made a friend, they even gave Snowy a portion as well. After eating their fill, the big orange cat went off to attend to his own business. While Snowy was wandering alone, he suddenly sensed a cat following him. It turned out to be a city cat who fancied himself at the forefront of fashion. The city cat immediately tried to cozy up to Snowy because he envied Snowy for becoming the big orange cat's sidekick. The big orange cat was, after all, the city cat's idol. So, he told Snowy many heroic stories about the big orange cat, which thrilled Snowy immensely. He immediately decided he wanted to become a cat just like him. That afternoon, Snowy returned to the big orange cat's territory, where the big orange cat had been waiting for him for quite some time, truly both authoritative and kind. On this day, the big orange cat told Snowy that he, too, had once been a house cat, but then his owner moved abroad, and so he became a stray. As he spoke, he took Snowy to his former owner's house, which had long been abandoned. Recalling these memories, the big orange cat grew somewhat sorrowful. But he told Snowy that his owner, wanting him to learn to be self-reliant, had actually spent a whole year teaching the big orange cat how to read and write. One could only say, one was bold enough to teach, the other was bold enough to learn. Every night, his owner taught him to recognize various characters, hoping he could better adapt to human life. Hearing this, Snowy immediately decided he too would learn to write from the big orange cat. That way, he might have a chance to return to his owner. However, the big orange cat made him promise not to give up, no matter how tough it got. And so, just like that, Snowy began his learning journey. Truly, the world is full of wonders. Early the next morning, the big orange cat planned to take Snowy to the library. Meanwhile, the city cat stealthily followed, still hoping to cozy up to the big orange cat. Eventually, the big orange cat agreed to let him come along. He led them to a school, found a book, and began teaching Snowy to recognize characters. For a period after that, they came to study there every day. Then one day, a teacher, a portly man, came to the library. This man naturally knew the big orange cat and even liked him very much, so he opened the door and let them into the library. Sometimes, he even prepared meat for them. Gradually, Snowy finally learned to read, and then, following the big orange cat's lead, he learned to write. Then one day, they saw Snowy's familiar hometown on the television in the library. Because he had learned to read, Snowy could now understand the name of his hometown. The big orange cat immediately climbed onto a globe and pointed out the direction for Snowy. Unexpectedly, Snowy acted too rashly. Desperate to return home, he darted out immediately, jumped onto a truck, and intended to ride it home. However, this one turned out to be a freezer truck. As Snowy was on the verge of freezing to death, thankfully, the big orange cat caught up, seized the moment, and rescued him. By then, Snowy was already frozen into an ice block. The big orange cat quickly broke the ice, and Snowy gradually woke up. The big orange cat gave him a sharp slap to snap him out of it. After that, Snowy grew despondent, feeling that even though he had learned to read, he still couldn't get home. Watching him sink deeper each day, the big orange cat told him, "Despair is the answer of foolish cats." Just then, a flyer landed in front of them. Coincidentally, it was an advertisement for a tour bus heading to Snowy's hometown. They were instantly thrilled. thinking they could sneak onto the cable car to get home. So the next day, the city cat also rushed over, and together they devised a plan. They would get Snowy onto the homebound bus first thing the next morning. To bid Snowy farewell, the city cat decided to throw a goodbye party that night. He asked Snowy what he wanted to eat. Snowy immediately said he loved meat. The city cat had no way of getting meat, but the big orange cat, overhearing this, took note. That evening, he went out alone. Then, at night, the city cat frantically ran to tell Snowy that the big orange cat was seriously injured. They hurried to the scene. Seeing the big orange cat on the brink of death, Snowy knew they couldn't save him on their own. So Snowy quickly ran to the portly man's house, let out a loud cry to draw him out, wrote the characters for Big Orange Cat on the ground, and led the man back. Shocked both by the cat's ability to write and the sight of the injured Big Orange Cat, the man immediately picked him up and took him to the hospital. Fortunately, the Big Orange Cat survived the emergency treatment, but Snowy now plotted to avenge him. The city cat explained that the Big Orange Cat had been injured by a fierce large wolf dog. The Big Orange Cat had just wanted to ask him for a little meat for Snowy to eat, but ended up attacked by the wolf dog. Hearing this, Snowy was deeply moved. He felt the time had come for him to do something for the Big Orange Cat. So, taking the city cat with him, he went to find the wolf dog's home. They found the wolf dog chained in its yard, looking as ferocious as ever. But Snowy wasn't afraid in the slightest. Working together with the city cat, they lured the dog into a trap, causing it to fall into the water. Snowy had finally become a brave cat. He warned the wolf dog that if it ever dared bully the Big Orange Cat again, he would bite its ears off. Thoroughly cowed, the wolf dog immediately apologized again and again. But having taken his revenge, Snowy missed the cable car home the next day. He remained in the town for quite some time longer as the Big Orange Cat gradually recovered. The Big Orange Cat began asking around about vehicles heading to Snowy's hometown, and finally, one day, he found a truck and prepared to see Snowy off. This time, however, Snowy wanted to go back alone, feeling he had grown up enough for the journey. The Big Orange Cat reluctantly agreed. That night, the cats even gathered for a meal at the wolf dog's place to bid Snowy farewell. Yes, the wolf dog had realized its mistakes and become good friends with the Big Orange Cat and the others. During the gathering, the Big Orange Cat also announced his own decision. Inspired by Snowy, he too would go abroad to look for his former owner. The wolf dog, seeing that it had just made friends only for them to leave again, was so sad it burst into loud sobs. Early the next morning, everyone saw Snowy off as he boarded the truck and watched him leave. Snowy read the road signs along the way, hitchhiking on several passing vehicles, and finally made it back to his hometown. Seeing the familiar streets, he excitedly rushed home. There, he saw his young owner lying on the sofa, but just as Snowy was about to leap into his arms, a small cat that looked exactly like him walked out from inside the house, also named Snowy. As it turned out, after waiting for Snowy for a whole year without finding him, his owner had no choice but to get another cat just like him. Heartbroken, Snowy felt he was no longer needed. Since his young owner now had another companion,
try to put me away, but they don't know the truth. My heart is crippled by the feeling that I keep on closing. You got me.
After feeling the owner's final embrace, he lingered in the warmth for a long moment before turning away. Snowy decided to return to the Big Orange Cat and start a new life. So before the truck had even left, he hopped back on and hitched a ride all the way back to the town. When he arrived, he only saw the city cat at first. Snowy felt disheartened, thinking the Big Orange Cat might have already left. But soon enough, the Big Orange Cat appeared. Overwhelmed, Snowy rushed over, crying. It turned out the Big Orange Cat's owner had returned from abroad, and he was able to go back to his owner. But where did that leave Snowy? That evening, in the pavilion of the small courtyard, the Big Orange Cat's owner prepared a lavish dinner for everyone. Seeing how close Snowy and the Big Orange Cat were, and knowing Snowy had no home, he decided to adopt Snowy too, giving him a new name, Crow. Snowy joyfully accepted. Just then, the wolf dog appeared outside the courtyard wall, jumping around to get their attention. Snowy spotted him and nudged the Big Orange Cat to look. But at that moment, the wolf dog, overexerting itself, fell into the water pool. Alarmed, Snowy rushed over to check, only to find the wolf dog swimming happily in the water. They exchanged a look, then smiled at each other. From then on, Snowy had a new name, gained many new friends, and grew through countless adventures. The silhouettes of Snowy and the Big Orange Cat under the moonlight represented an ending they shared, one that blended adventure in peace, freedom, and belonging. They might still go on adventures from time to time, but they would always be by each other's side.